Here are 5 potential busts of the 2020 NBA draft. Starting off with Obi Toppin, who is one of the oldest players of this upcoming draft, but also the most NBA ready in terms of scoring. He's a walking highlight for any NBA team that drafts him. My biggest concern with his play is the lack of defense. He's projected to be a top 5 pick, and that concerns me because the teams at the top, like the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Charlotte Hornets, don't need a player like Obi Toppin. With LaMelo Ball, Anthony Edwards, and James Wiseman most likely being gone in the top 3, that leaves guys like Obi Toppin, Deni Avdija, Onyeka Okongwu, with Toppin being the weakest of the second tier guys. I feel the safest spots for him are teams with an already established culture and not trying to rebuild, but unfortunately a rebuilding team is most likely going to draft him, and he is not going to change their franchise around. Next, let's talk about LaMelo Ball. Even though if I covered him in my potential stars video, I always tend to put a player that I had in that video in the bust video because it could go either way. And with these hyped up players, like a guy like Zion last year, people scared of him getting injured, I feel the same can be said of LaMelo Ball, not necessarily in terms of injury, but in terms of effort. Throughout the entirety of clips of watching LaMelo Ball on defense, it looks like sometimes he just doesn't care. He's just going through the motions, and maybe he'll start to care when he reaches the NBA and you'll flip a switch, but that's the biggest thing that scares me with him. Not to mention that his brother, Lonzo Ball, hasn't really been anything spectacular in the NBA with the selection of the 2nd overall pick. I feel the worst case scenario for LaMelo Ball, he somehow slips outside of the top 3 and lands with the Chicago Bulls. A backcourt of LaMelo Ball and Zach LaVine is going to be horrible on defense, and although it brings excitement to that team, it's not going to translate into a lot of wins. Next up, let's talk about Isaac Okoro. Isaac Okoro reminds a lot to me of Jarrett Culver of last year's draft. Jarrett Culver necessarily isn't a bust yet, but he's definitely underperformed in his rookie season, and I feel that's going to be the same case with Isaac Okoro, especially if he's drafted within the top 10. He's a raw prospect. He brings you the defense. He's going to play hard, but as of right now, he's not going to be an excellent shooter, and there's concerns if he ever will. Best case scenario, I see him ending up like a guy like Tony Allen, an undersized 6'5" small forward / shooting guard. At least he'll give you defense if anything else, and if he fails to pan out. From one raw prospect to another, let's talk about Patrick Williams, who has his draft stock seeming to be climbing up the closer draft night gets here. Just like Okoro, people praise Patrick Williams for his defense and hope that at the NBA level, he could develop a consistent shot from the outside. What scares me about players like Patrick Williams is that because of the NBA draft is all about potential and the age of these prospects, both of these dudes will most likely be in the top 10 and will be drafted to a horrible situation for them to develop. The common trend of the 4 players I mentioned so far is 2 of them don't really play on defense and the other 2 haven't really shown any type of offensive game. So for the last player that we'll be covering in this 5 potential bust video, we're going to throw in a wild card here and mention Aleksey Poposhewski. A few months ago when I made my NBA draft video, I got comments saying this guy should be considered for the NBA lottery, which means the top 14 picks, and in no way, shape, or form should he even be near the top of the first round, late to possible 2nd round if best. If I thought Patrick Williams and Isaac Okoro were raw talents, Poco is definitely one of the rawest talents in this upcoming NBA draft. Having a super skinny build, but apparently being able to do it all in terms of shooting, dribbling, and being 7 foot, that's kind of crazy. But none of that will translate towards his NBA game if he isn't drafted in the right situation. I feel a lot of teams mess up certain NBA players and make them get out of the league in like 2 to 4 years. I feel like that's going to be the same situation if he isn't drafted in the right spot. And honestly, I don't know what the right spot would be. Maybe a contender where he has time and isn't just thrown right into the fire and get exposed. Someone who's going to believe in him. So maybe the Toronto Raptors. They're like 1 for 1 in terms of drafting raw prospects, Bruno Caboclo didn't really turn out into anything, but Pascal Siakam, nobody knew who he was, but look at the player he's been able to turn into. So we'll have to wait and see, and I really do hope for the best for all 5 of these players to not be out of the league in like the next 4 years to 8. So did you agree with my list? Did you disagree? Let me know in the comment section below, along with telling me any other potential bust in this year's 2020 NBA draft. Leave a like, subscribe, check out some of these other videos. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you in the next one.